you still believe Big Dre is the one that killed Pac?
Well, based on what they said, a big arm came out the window, and I'm just going by what I heard. They say Dre was in the car. I'm thinking Dre was the one who was the shooter. But then again, I'm looking at this. They got other fact stuff that came out. And I've always said this, brother. Feelings don't change facts. Facts change feelings. They said they found the car. And that car is in the police report. The car that did the shooting. That they did the shooting from. What did they put in there? Where did that come from? That's in the report. What's the ballistics? Was there gunpowder residue on the car? Was any bullets, anything found in the car? That's in that Blake Vegas police report that they don't tell us about. That car is the only physical evidence they have in that police report. But it talks about very little ballistics. Well, see, the thing about it is that based on the information that we had at the time, you understand, who all was allegedly supposed to be in the car when Keefe D told the story and stuff like that. So you would only think that Dre was the one who did the shooting. But then when you find out that later on, LAPD, LAPD was down there doing some kind of gang surveillance and gang stuff with the Las Vegas Police Department, you would think that the LAPD and they rogue cops that was there may have had something to do with it too. And what Suge Knight said, you solve one case, you solve them both. Suge Knight is literally probably the only eyewitness that we have to Pac shooting. And I know Keefe D them and I know Dre them didn't kill Big. He said you solve one case, you solve them both. We know that Gaines, Mac was at the Peterson Museum the night Big was killed. We know that LAPD has something to do with the notorious Biggs murder because they would not have put those evidence, those pictures in a sealed court documents in a sealed case file. They sealed them for 50 years. We know that's because they know some of their people had something to do with the notorious Big death. So if you solve one, you solve them both. That came from one of the eyewitnesses, Suge Knight. I just want to say this. I don't know how you're gonna put this in there. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of people don't understand that we've done these interviews throughout the years, and these interviews are where people come and ask me questions, be it on the Art of Dialogue or somebody else program. I've always been that type of dude that tried to, any principle that I had, whether it was Mac 10, whether it was Exhibit, whether it was Nate Dogg coming from the West Coast. Shout out to my man Pete that used to give me those contracts. Scott Storch, Fat Joe, Pap, 50, Jesse Jackson, Derek Jeter, uh, Martin Lawrence, Alan Payne, any individual that I ever worked for, my job and my goal was always to get them back home to their family, even if I had to risk my own life to do it. The notorious Big lost his life. I was there. Even though he wasn't my principal, the information that I had and me being there, I still take fault in not making sure he got home that night, that he got back home to his family. And that's something that's gonna live with me for the rest of my life, brother. And people don't understand. They. If I could have told this fucking story, or I could have let the people know what really happened during that time, without putting my face on camera, without being in all these interviews, and people understood my pain and what I went through, if they knew the true story and they would have got the true story, I would have rather that happen that way, because I never wanted to be famous or get to be known from none of this shit. And that's all I want to say.